Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chef's Meal, where we talk about whatever and never and everything else in between.
Hey everybody, Rush Hour in the building. Welcome to the Chef's Meal. My name is Sean.
What's up, guys? I'm Casey, and we're two chefs going about our lives, one finished plate at a time. Now, Sean, I'm sorry. I got too excited because I have turkey.
I know you did. It's okay. It's all right.
We have turkey, but I'm sorry. Keep going.
Surprise! Oh my goodness! You can tell we do this very, very early in the morning.
No.
So we talk about whatever, whenever, and everything else in between.
なぜですか?
It's not that early, Sean. Shut up. They don't know. This is a podcast.
Sorry, theater of the mind. This is happening whenever you're listening to it. So yeah.
This could be
if
like
it's
they're
2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Or 2 in the morning. Is this happening on your evening commute? We're recording right now in real time. It's live.
Yeah, man. This is live. Okay. We're going into it. But Sean, so we are doing the food podcast. This is my favorite one because one, we are two chefs. We're not joking around. We work in the same building. We've been at it for a while. Okay. Yes. During Thanksgiving. So it's coming up. I want to say, hold on, let me see. Thanksgiving is in 1, 2, 3. Just about
7 weeks.
Is it 7 days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 weeks. 8 weeks.
Okay. All right. 8 weeks away.
And we are there. It's happening on the 28th this year at the end of November. Black Friday is right into it. But as we get closer to it, I mentioned before just the patrons and the busy of the restaurant gets a little more hectic because this is the time of the year where people travel, get to see other people, other family members that they haven't seen, no matter where you kind of go about your day. But let's tackle some food stuff. Sean, you wanna take the first one? Let's give me like your favorite Thanksgiving meal.
Okay, so I think I mentioned it on the other episode, but all right, good Thanksgiving meal. Give me the turkey with the gravy. Give me some solid, like hearty mashed potatoes. And again, I'm like lactose intolerant, so like
we're both
I pay for this.
That's okay.
I pay for this meal, but it's one time a year, so whatever. Give me some hearty mac and cheese. Give me some good pork sausage or like a good honey like Christmas ham. Give me my mom's sweet potatoes.
Do you cook both turkey and ham?
Yeah, so all right, so my family is pretty large. So what we do is, I don't say it's like a potluck thing, but everyone is bringing like a dish, and generally whoever's house we're going to host it, like they might do like the turkey and some of the sides. So for the last couple of years, we've been doing it at my uncle's house. He's like my cousin uncle. He's my cousin, but he's old enough to be my uncle. Sure. Shout out to cousin uncle cousin Scott there. But he recently got married to a very, very nice Filipino lady, and she's been introducing. So when she throws down, man. Wow. She's Filipino. Really been introducing some different Filipino foods to the mix. Like one time there were these like very, very small like spring rolls, and lumpia. They were fire, my dude.
Yeah, man.
Like fire.
Those are pride and joy.
Fire. Yeah, man.
Pride
like
and joy.
Again, you gotta imagine too. So it's like, a household of like predominantly black people, and they're just like, what is this? Like again, you got like a whole spread of different foods, and there's a lot of food. So it's not even like if you don't take something, it's like, oh, you're just being picky, but oh yeah, that's it. Those are the noodles.
Yeah, so let me blow it up. So let me check it out. Yeah, so this is what we call lumpiang Shanghai. Okay. Filipino spring roll, pretty much, or lumpia. Yeah, man. This is what we make. This is our thing. It's like whenever we say party, Filipinos like, okay, where's the lumpia? This is like our thing.
Yeah, I mean, she introduced them, and Now that's a staple. I should have mentioned that with my favorite my favorite foods. I mean, again, depending on whose house it's gonna be hosted at, might not be able to guarantee that that's gonna be on the menu. But I know if they're hosting it, for
Oh
sure,
yeah. Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
Absolutely. Wow. Look at this. It's like the it's like the stuff that happens. Oh, okay. We're digressing. Let me pull back into Now, Sean had mentioned he kind of wanted to talk about what had happened on my trip. You have any specific questions, Sean?
So yeah, I mean, look, you did something that's like part of like the American storytelling, right? Where like,
Yeah, yeah,
you kind
yeah.
of get in your car and you go and you travel and see, spots. You breeze into a town, spend a night, spend 2 nights, and then like, kind of eat as the people do. So I know there's a whole bunch of different places that you went to that have change your palate and are gonna influence the food you're gonna make going forward. So
Oh yeah.
let's talk about some of them places.
It was insane. So I never, you always kind of hear the chefs kind of go, oh, you got to make sure you travel, do it as much as you can, try out as many foods as you can because it builds your palate. I never really understood that fully. I'm like, you know what, I'll be okay. I kind of see the TV. You kind of understand it. Being a chef and all, you kind of know how the flavors meld. But to experience said flavors in that certain city, in that certain town, everywhere you go, it's a different form of it. And it'll take you back somewhere. And that's what the main gist of it as being chefs is, to recreate that same notion that you're feeling in that certain town. So you know what? Let's break down. I was in New Orleans.
Nolans, baby.
Nolans. Perfect little segue. The first Uber ride that we kind of took, and we were maybe 20 minutes away from the city. We
Okay.
were just in the outskirts. I could not understand the guy. I swear to God, it was a different accent, Sean, and it's a thicker, not southern. It's just a weird accent, and just the way they said things, and just the way it rolls off their tongue. It takes it takes a second, but after a while, it becomes normal. But just them kind of saying New Orleans, it's Nolans, it's just one. It's like it's just one phrase all together. Just all in the city. It's nasal. That's what I was trying to say. It's almost nasal, like their nose are plugged. That's kind of the accent that goes around. So let me pull it up. A couple of my favorite restaurants that we went into as we were visiting Nolans, New Orleans. So Caitlin and I are foodies from our heart. We're food-based people. We love it. I'm a pork guy. So when one of the guys says you should try Cochon, Cochon is just French for pig. All right. And I'll pull up their website right here on our video feed. Cajun Southern cooking, it's their main thing. Right. I forget exact what street it was. It was like a cool street that they're right into the corner. But this is their restaurant if you're looking here in the video feed. And they have this really cool, aesthetically like neon per se. We went just about dusk, so it wasn't this color. It was like more purple. But some of the dishes, just kind of, let's go through it. Because it was, I don't want to say small plates. They're all medium plates. So not appetizers, just a tad bigger than what it is. So they have like wood-fired oysters if you really wanted it. The soup and salads and stuff. But we actually got their platter. So we got a charcuterie board. And that was one of the most bomb-ass things that we've ever gotten. Because, let me see if I can pull it up. Hold up. Small plates. I don't want to download it, sir. Okay. But, okay, so obviously they don't have it. Let me go into the gallery. I'm really like, I really want to find it, Sean. It was like the most amazing thing. Okay, so here we go. Here's kind of what it said. So 3 different kind of pickles go into your plate. I'm a fan of pickles. I love it. There's the butter ones. There's the dill ones. There's the regular ones. They have fermented kimchi also on
I was
the
gonna say,
platter.
yeah, it looks like kimchi from words.
Oh my God, Sean! I was like, this is so good. And then 3 different cheeses, 1 Spaniard cheese, another one that they made in house with like pork stock. It was phenomenal. Caitlin hated it. She can't do the texture, but I was like, this is the most amazing thing ever. And they have a pate that they make in-house with pork chitlins, and it was phenomenal. And here's the seating. You kind of see how he goes. He has a lot of text, but we were right here in this table. I remember it because we were right in front of this this little mural on the wall. So we were sitting right there. The actual Sean, you can see the fucking you can see the kitchen. It's live.
Oh, that's cool.
Yo, it is. Oh my god, just the wafting smell as soon as you walk in, because pork is hanging from the ceiling, like the dried cured meats. Oh my god, it was, yeah. This is a pork head, by the way.
I see, yeah.
Oh my word! And if you order it, this is the $100 plate because it's a full head of a pig. But they will take it right from the hooks, butcher it right there, and then they'll prepare it. But man, this restaurant is amazing. Cochon, I think we had one of the best pork dishes that we've ever had. We had like not a stew, but it was like their version of a meatloaf, but made with pork. It was phenomenal, but it wasn't. So the way you would eat, and here's my little chefy thing. I understand what they're trying to do. I know how to eat it, but as a regular patron, you wouldn't be able to understand. So when we're fixing plates, and Sean, you know this, you want to make the guest experience as easy as possible.
Sure.
You don't want to tell them. You don't want your server to go, "Here's how you eat your food. You take this, you dip it into this, you take a little bit of that." That's how you would eat.
Right.
In our restaurant, it's faster, it's streamlined, it's kind of all together already, so people understand what to do. This one, they do not, yo. So this little meatloaf, if you can tell, it was just a big ball on a plate on top of rice, on top of their gumbo rice, phenomenal, and sauce underneath. And they wouldn't tell you otherwise. If you just kind of try all the pieces by itself, it sucks because it's not together. But if you then take a little bit of the pork, a little bit of the rice, dip it into the sauce, and then partake, you would
comes together.
Have, yeah, it all comes together. But it's just, I wish they would have told you, kind of, from a chef standpoint. But I understand fully. It's not a big deal. It doesn't detract from your experience. This is just my 2 cents serving and cooking and anything. But I saw the chef too. And you know chefs, because I mean I have it on my arm too. But he had a full sleeve all the way up because, you know, that's apparently what we do now. We cure porks instead of slaughtering or being in war or anything. But Cochon, if you haven't, down in New Orleans. Amazing restaurant. Do make a reservation though. Good luck trying to just go in and get seating. We made a rezo and we were there for a couple hours. It's not expensive. It's like a little mid tier. It's like our restaurant, I want to say.
Okay.
The mid plates are like $18-$19. And then the entrees are like $27-$35. Okay. That pig head was $100 because it's like a literal pig head. It's like 4 pounds of meat. Yeah. But Cochon, we're hitting you up. If you listen to podcasts, I love you. I want to make love to your sauce, whatever you put into it. It was so delicious. I really wanted the shirt. They weren't. They ran out of the largest. They didn't have large. Okay. They only have 2XL and mediums. I'm like, I fit into the 2XL, but I don't want to put on a 2XL. I wanted a large, or even an XL. I'll take an XL, but they didn't have it.
Oh my goodness!
That's one of them.
Just reminded me of Rosie's joke.
Stop. We'll talk about that in a second. One of the funniest ones in our restaurants here. Oh my God, Rosie. I love this man. We'll say him by name because he doesn't have social media or anything. He's an older feller, but we'll go as it. So the second restaurant that you should check out, Café du Monde. This is the most infamous one over there in New Orleans.
Get your big
Sean,
yays.
you have some experience on this. What is your take on it?
Oh my goodness. So when you travel, you always hear of like these places, and I don't know, being in New York, there's a lot of great restaurants here, and maybe it's because I'm in New York that you feel like they're overrated because you can touch them, right? So the
can.
whole time that we're like in New Orleans, people are just like, oh, you gotta go to Cafe du Monde. You gotta go to Cafe du Monde. And it's kind of like, I would say it's located on like the outs. It's not the outskirts of like
it's like
centrally,
right.
it's like, yeah, it's like centrally located, but like still like off the main strip. And when we were doing our sightseeing and just moving around the city, like we kept on passing it and kept on passing it. And then finally, like one night, we're just like, all right, well, let's go see what this place is about. And sure enough, man, those beignets were hitting. Like
They were, man.
You know, praise
hard,
be,
yo.
all respect to Cafe du Monde. I think my wife got you know, coffee in a beignet. I got some hot chocolate in a beignet, and it was late and it was still great. There was lines every time we went by. There were lines. You know, people waiting, like literally like playing double dutch for seats. Oh, is someone getting up? Let's just, you know, like squatting on the seats, like, because, you know, the place is really, really, really good.
It's packed. It's cheap too. It's $3 for the beignet things.
Yeah. It doesn't, and again, it's not, good food doesn't have to be expensive. Like, you don't get caught up in that. I mean, it's just good, you know, simple recipe, you know, with some confectionery sugar on top, and it's perfect. Perfect, man. Again, I love the simple logo, you know, just the script font and the, you know, green and white stripes on their signage. And again, you know, you walk in, you place your order, you know, sit at a table, and again, it's like they don't offer a lot of different things, but they're damn good at what they do. Yeah,
it's just like 10 things. It's like a bunch of coffee with like a bunch of the beignets and like a couple other things.
Yeah. And the other New Orleans spot that I want to recommend, if you're in town, if you go for breakfast or like brunch, it's called the Ruby Slipper. See if Casey.
Oh, we were there. We were there. We didn't go into it, but we passed it. We actually went to Cafe Beignet instead.
Okay.
But Ruby Slipper, I absolutely know. We were gonna go.
The Ruby Slipper.
But here's the location right here, man. Oh my God.
Yeah, when we went to New Orleans, we actually happened to be going into town for the Red Dress Run, and pretty much it's like a 5K, but like it's like a beer thing too. So like there were people like, so here's the thing: everyone who's gonna participate needs to either wear a red dress, men and women, or wear red. You know, so, you know, we all did our part. I didn't particularly wear a red dress, but I did rock a Manchester United soccer jersey because I was like, oh, this is gonna be like, yeah, like more of an athletic thing. But like when we got there, it was like, oh no, this is like a boozy thing. I mean, you know, like it's New Orleans, you can drink all day, so obviously people are gonna partake. There was beer on the route. There was beer at the end, a little, you know, like a little party at the end with food trucks and, you know, beer garden kind of set up. But in the beginning, a whole bunch of the runners and participants met at the Ruby Slipper. So again, the place is just it's literally bloody with everyone in their red, and you know it was a really, really cool time. So I would definitely
from 7 to 2.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the life, Sean.
Just wouldn't it be nice?
What are we doing?
I don't know, man. You can turn this podcast off right now and start drawing up plans.
We'll make a new business. Fuck it. God, 7 to 2, right on Decatur Street. This is the one that we were passing through. They have 4 locations, but this is the one that we went to.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, our hotel was pretty centrally located, so like everything was in arm's reach. And I was trying to like go through some of my photos to kind of remember some of the other places that we went to. I asked my wife and see if I can bring them up for the next show. But yeah, man, New Orleans is a great food town. Oh man, PoBoys.
It is so good.
You know what? Shout out to PoBoys. Shout out to Zatarans.
Shout out to everything. Like, okay, so Sean knows I hate okra. Okay,
Okay,
I
yeah,
have a
he's
passion
not
to hate okra.
with it.
Right now
He's
we
not
have
with
gumbo
it.
in a menu.
We
It
do.
doesn't give it justice
Yeah,
to what I've had
yeah.
in New Orleans.
It's. I will say it's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's nothing that compares to like a really really good gumbo or etouffee. You know,
Yeah,
like the
man.
real like Cajun seasonings, that trinity, man. You gotta incorporate it. Like, and New Orleans is about it, man.
Yeah.
New Orleans
And
is
like we were
about
talking
it.
about it, like the roux isn't even the same color. Like if you guys have ever been to New Orleans, if you notice their gumbo, it's almost black. It's like really dark brown, and it's a dark roux. That's what we call it in the restaurant, or that's what we to call it in a cooking term. It's a really dark roux. It happens at like the hour mark if you just do it low and slow, or if I mean I've seen some New Orleans chefs kind of do it in about 15 minutes, high heat,
Oh,
just
you,
smacking, boom
you know
boom.
what we
It's
should do?
dark.
What is a roux? You should explain that.
Okay, so a roux is a flour and butter. Literally, that's all it
Okay.
is. And then
Okay.
you kind of cook it to different. You know what? Let me pull it up so we kind of understand.
Yeah, because I know, but maybe other people don't know, and maybe they've been making roux and they don't even realize that that's what they're doing.
Heard. So a
Boom.
roux, spelled ROUX, is flour and fat. That's the technical term. I'm on the wiki right now, and just depending on how far you cook said roux, is the different versions of it. So we have a blonde roux. If you can tell, that's really light, just like in the hair color. French cuisine. So this is all they're kind of
This is all French.
saying.
Yes.
They have regular roux, just by itself, a little darker blonde, not dark blonde, but just regular blonde, and then the where you make other ones where you kind of just say, oh, I need a roux at like 20 minutes. That's like just a slightly over on the regular one, and then the dark roux is what I'm talking about, where it's just kind of just black. And I kind of want to hold on. Let me see if I can get it. Dark roux. See if you can get it. Okay, it doesn't go. But anyway, it's straight up. It's really dark brown, almost black in color, black, and it gives you a really strong flavor. I don't know how to explain it. It's like not smoke. It's just dark. It's like a heavy. If you were to get like pork fat, right, and just kind
Yeah.
of
Render it
reduce it
down.
down, that's how it would taste, the dark roux, but just in flour form.
See, one thing that like I feel like most people don't realize is like butter tastes significantly differently depending on how much heat you apply to it. So like, like if you think of like your normal, I would say kitchen table butter, you start to heat it, it almost kind of takes on like it takes on a different color. It gets brown, and it can almost start to taste like peanuts. And like those properties start to change like the taste of the base for the sauce, the roux.
Yeah, but that's what a roux is. But shout out, oh my god, just New Orleans is so good, man. All the food that we ate and just made a crazy fool out of us because we can drink outside. Like who
Oh boy,
everybody just kind of chilling with their drinks. Just
the drunkest I've ever been in public was in New Orleans. We were drinking, and again, I'm looking through these photos. I know we went to some place where they had like these drink called like hand grenades, served in like
yes.
a large
Yes.
plastic neon
We had a
flute
hand grenade.
with a little hand grenade toy in the top. Yeah, that was. And again, like
Best
I'm not
$25 spent. It was amazing.
I'm not a big drinker, but when you're in New Orleans, you gotta kind of partake, and that was the most publicly intoxicated. Not falling out sloppy drunk, but definitely.
Completely intoxicated. Heard, Sean.
Yeah, that
Your
was.
secret stays with me. It's okay.
Hey
Not a
man,
big
it's
deal.
between me and iCloud.
And then one final thing, Johnny's PoBoy restaurant. Oh my God, we had the best PoBoys here, And it's just, if you'll miss this, like right off the bat, if you're not even paying attention. So we asked around, it's like, hey, what would be a good po' boy? They're like, don't even go to all the other ones. They're whatever. These guys have been here forever. Go to Johnny's
Sure.
Po' Boy. I think it's at the other side of it. Oh, let me see it. Yeah, right here on St. Louis Street.
Yes.
Right,
Okay.
right in between Cafe Beignet, just on the other side. This is where we were for the other
Excuse me.
side. The second day, day 2, New Orleans. This is where we went, Johnny's Po' Boy. It's a small spot. Small. I'm talking like 20 seats on the inside, but there's a line outside all day. Like we passed it once, there was a line, passed it again because we were hungry. Finally got into it. And one of the most amazing po' boys I've ever had.
What
and they
type
served
did
it with
you
gumbo
get?
on the side, the
What
little
type?
rice.
Did you get oyster? Did you get shrimp? The chicken?
Oh, I'm
or
sorry.
what
Yeah,
type?
I got half and half. Half
Okay.
oyster, half shrimp. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I don't even know what the hell they put in it. I think it's just so fresh. Just because, right, you're right in the bayou, so they get everything right there. But just, and I hate gumbo. I hate gumbo for the okra. I hate okra. So that's like,
Can you tell
I don't know
people
how many times I'm
Casey
gonna
does
say that.
not
I hate
like
okra.
okra?
okay, I have PTSD from when I was younger from okra.
And what do we have in our restaurant?
We have okra.
35
We
to
have
40
gumbo.
pounds of okra.
Okay, I have 45 pounds of okra in a fucking freezer, waiting to be fired if we need a gumbo order. It's gross, Sean. I don't know how people, even fried, it's disgusting. But anyway, I'm sorry, staying off track. If you guys haven't already, Johnny's Po' Boy here in New Orleans, right on St. Louis Street. Check them out. You won't regret it. It's an amazing po' boy experience altogether. But man, I wish I could go back to New Orleans and just kind of talk about food all day. And I haven't even eaten enough. Like I haven't gone to all the other restaurants. There's another restaurant I'm trying to figure out that we went to. One of the best restaurants that we went. Compere Le Pin, I think that's how you pronounce their name. I hold on. Let me pull it out. It's all French, man.
Okay.
Okay. It's French for Brother Rabbit. Okay.
Yeah.
This restaurant is a James Beard Foundation award winner. But Kalin had the best experience. And just check out how it looks like.
Yeah.
It's a stellar restaurant. We made reservations, but Kalin had the best. Hold on, let me pull it up on this side. Kalin had the best chocolate. So Kalin kind of, because we were not drunk because we've been day drinking. Yes, we were drunk.
It's New Orleans, so like, or Nolans,
we're on our honeymoon.
you're gonna
just kind
be
of going around.
day drunk. Like that's part. Like again, it's a New Orleans is a interesting place because like people can drink all the time, like, and everyone understands it. Like you exchange beads. Like the streets kind of smell like vomit.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
But it's clean. Like you look around, you don't see vomit, but it still smells like it. And it's because someone is always throwing up somewhere.
Always.
But it's still cool and you need to go see it. Like it is one of the most liberated square mile, per square mile places that I've ever been to.
So here's the dinner menu. Kind of just going through because I remember we had the spiced pig ears with smoked aioli, literally pig ears fried, smoked aioli, delicious. And I ordered the conch croquettes, just little pickled pineapple tartar sauce, which I think is so bomb. And then we kind of skipped the first course because we were like, we'll just do a couple apps, and then like the actual dinner. So Caitlin actually, she got the snapper with escovitch and carrot beurre blanc. Oh my god, it was delicious. And I had, of course, the duo of pork because they had pork. I love pork, and that's what we kind of had at the restaurant. But man, talk about one of the best meals I've ever had and an experience altogether. But at least for me, Caitlin had the best experience. They gave us 2 little small bites of chocolate. It's chocolate, it's whatever. But Caitlin was like, "Oh my god, this is the best!" She was in tears. It was so good. and I wanted to partake the chocolate with her, but I am allergic, so I did. I didn't feel like breaking out the next day, so I didn't partake of the chocolate. But I could only imagine she never has that expression before when she has eaten chocolate. But man, it must have been badass for that chocolate to be that good. But yeah, so New Orleans was an experience. We were there for 2.5 days. So a half a day going from Virginia. No, from Tennessee.
Okay,
A
yeah, I
half
was
a
gonna
day
say.
from Tennessee going down. And then we landed in New Orleans, I want to say like 4 p.m. And then from there we had that whole night, one full day, and then one more or a half a day after rather, and then we were up to Texas. But man, New Orleans was an experience. If you guys haven't already, take the trip. Do it.
Yeah,
It's
I got
yeah,
one
absolutely do it.
more place to shout out from when we were there, or rather two places.
Okay.
Acme Oyster House.
Oh yes, we didn't
Acme Oyster
even.
House.
Yeah. Hold
Yeah,
on.
yeah. Search
Acme.
Acme Oyster, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hold on. Let me blow it up on the other side. Yeah, Acme
yeah.
Oyster House.
Okay,
Oh
Acme
my
Oyster House. No, here's the
god.
thing. I confirmed my my allergy to oysters.
Oh, this is it.
This is the place. Yeah.
I heard. I remember you saying this.
Acme Oyster House. So when we went to New Orleans, my wife had decided to get some oysters, and in the restaurant, like I shuck a whole bunch of oysters. So I was looking at the size of these things, and I'm like, wow, these things are giant. And
Yeah.
at some
They
point,
look
like I
great.
picked up the oyster, I looked at it, I put it back down on a plate, and I rubbed my eye. So like we're going through the rest of the meal. The food was delicious, and she's looking across the table. She's like, "Are you okay? You're like crying." I'm like, "I'm crying." She's like,
You're crying.
"Yeah, what's going on?" I'm like, she's like, "Your eye is really, really red." So I run to the bathroom. I look, and it looks like pink, like I got like conjunctivitis or something. And I'm just
Oh
like, man,
shit.
it's pretty itchy. I'll probably be all right. So we finished the meal, and it's probably another like 15 minutes. And at this point, I like call for the check, and I'm realizing I can't see out of my eye. By the time we pay the check, like we call one of our friends, happens to be a doctor. She's like, I think she was having an allergic reaction, and he's like, yeah, just go get him some Benadryl. He'll probably be fine if
That's a better
like,
drill.
yeah. He's like, look, they were on a trip with us. He's like, yeah, if it gets worse than that, like, I'll stop by your room and come check him out. But yeah, so we're walking through the streets. My eye is completely swollen. I'm looking like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. My wife is looking fantabulous, and I'm looking like a gargoyle.
Oh my god.
We go to the CVS. Like I can't see anything. I'm just standing by the counter, like horrifying everyone who's coming up to buy their goods.
Because your eyes are blown up.
Oh my goodness, they're all the way blown up. Like the poor cashier, she's like, "Sir, are you okay?" I'm just like, "I'm looking for your wife," and she's like, "Are you gonna be able to see her?" I'm like, "Damn, man, it's tough crowd." But
It
yeah,
is a tough
we
crowd.
go, we go get back to the hotel room. I take my Benadryl. We end up missing. I think we did this for like an early dinner, and then we were gonna go out to eat somewhere else later too. But like I like had to just take that Benadryl and like sleep in the room, and sure enough, like in a few hours the swelling went down. But yeah, Acme Oyster House.
Wow.
Food is
So this is where
great.
you found out you were allergic.
Confirmed my allergy again. Didn't eat it,
Heard.
but yeah, definitely confirmed that yeah, to the touch. No
But
good.
you were okay with shrimp.
Shrimp is fine. Lobster is
Have you touched
fine.
your eye with shrimp?
Okay.
You've
I will
ingested
say,
it, so it's okay.
Yeah, I've ingested it. I mean, you see, I was eating shrimp the other day.
Yeah, we were eating shrimp the other day.
Yeah. Like, ingestion is fine. Contact is probably fine. Because, again, like, I assume, like, we're touching shrimp and stuff all the time. And, like, I did not get the reaction that I did from the oysters. But I also realized, like, even way back when I was like shucking more, and here's the thing, like, we obviously were in a seafood restaurant and we have to shuck oysters all the time, but I try not to do it as much as I can. Like, I try to like kind of hang back because
you get it on your arms. Like
you get it on your arms, they like splash. And like when I was doing it, when I was primarily shucking, like I would leave my shift sometimes and it would feel like my arms were like on fire. But I didn't understand it. But then I'd go home and take a shower and then like be fine. But I didn't get it. Like I was like, well, man, maybe it's like this lotion I'm using. Let me change that up. Let me change up this routine. Maybe it's the detergent from the washer or something. Because but it wasn't until then that I like really confirmed. Just like, oh no, man, this is not for you.
The oysters.
You shouldn't. It's the oysters. And calamari kind of does it too. Like generally, if I have it, like it just makes you feel off.
Weird.
Yeah, real. Yeah. So
different
again,
proteins.
sometimes some people, I would assume mussels. Again, like mussels, I would assume would be doing the same thing too. So there's a lot of times people are just like, "Oh, can you taste these?" I'm like, "No,
not today. Sorry,
not today. Not yet." Yeah. Someone, please.
Anyone else, but
yeah, not me.
All right, what's your second one?
Oh yeah. The second one was Popeyes.
Just regular Popeyes?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Let's just pop them up. Popeyes right
here. Yeah, Popeyes. But specifically the Popeyes that are in New Orleans, because I mean that's where it all like kind of started, and I'm sure it's not different, but maybe it was the atmosphere. But there's a Popeyes that's on like the main strip that was the most delicious Popeyes I've ever had.
Yeah,
and this is after like days of eating the wonderful food of New Orleans. But my goodness, man, it was hitting.
Signature chicken. Oh my god, it looks so good.
Get some dirty rice.
Just get some dirty rice with it.
Mix up your mild and spicy bucket. So you every piece is a surprise, man. But
it's like a box of chocolates. Is what you're going.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Oh my god! All right, let's bring it back into, like I said. So the holiday season is coming up. Obviously, we were kind of reminiscing about our time in New Orleans, but turkey is prevalent. I just kind of want to give him one tip.
Okay,
Sean, how do you cook your turkey? Let me ask you.
So I make I sweat my onions, my celery, my carrots, get that as a base. I dry rub the turkey with salt and pepper, a little paprika. I take a baster and like kind of inject the turkey under the skin with a little butter. Bake it and then go from there. Typically I don't make the stuffing. I mean, I can make it, but usually someone else makes it. Like my mother-in-law makes really good stuffing. Some of my aunts make really good stuffing, and then we incorporate that into the bird like later on. Yeah. But generally, again, it's weird because like, despite the fact that I got like the cooking chops, like I'm generally not the one making the turkey, because that's usually reserved for whoever is hosting the event. And
got it.
Thus far, I've had a small place. Like this year, we could probably host a quarter of my family in this place, but not all of it. Yeah. One is yeah. So the turkey probably would not be me.
Got you. I break down a turkey. I'm a weird guy. So, and it's simple too. I don't brine. I don't do anything. So if you get a turkey like a 5-pounder, split the breast right in half, make it fillet, a butterfly cut, right? Okay. That way it's split into the sheet tray, and then I just rub butter all over it inside. Stick rosemary sprigs all over, salt, pepper.
I forgot to mention the rosemary as well. I do that.
It gets into the oven and it halves my cooking time. So instead of like 4 or 5 hours, an hour or 45, maybe 2 hours tops. And then that's it. And then I test the breast, make sure it's cooked. If it's almost cooked and like everything else is done, I'll actually split off like the legs and the thighs, and then cook the breast a little more so it goes up to temp. And then when you're carving, that's why I kind of do the butterfly thing. It's easier because everything's broken down already.
Right,
You
right.
just
You already
slice
got
it up,
everything super flat. And you just
and then you go. So that's my little cooking, my turkey cooking tip. And we'll plug that in right into the 20 minutes as we're kind of nearing into the end. But Sean, one more tip
okay.
for your Thanksgiving. We'll make this a Thanksgiving one. Give me one more tip on how to eat your Thanksgiving meal, because I have a certain way of how to eat stuff. How do you eat? Or give me a tip on how you eat your turkey meal or your meal for Thanksgiving.
All right. Well, before that tip, I have a tip for you. Okay. So if you want to be a hero for Thanksgiving and you cannot cook, or you don't trust yourself to cook, and you're going to a family gathering or a big party where there's going to be a lot of people, you can be a hero if you just go to like the dollar store and get Tupperware. Just get Tupperware because there's going to be leftovers. And no one, I don't know, like people improvise their way. They're just like, I'll take 2 plates together and saran wrap it and hold it in my lap and dry. Like, ain't no one got time for that. But
Word.
you can be a hero if you get some Tupperware.
Get some
Just go get a
Tupperware. Wow.
Yeah, man, a 50, whatever. Like whatever you would have spent in food, or probably even a little bit less. You can get a whole bunch of uniform Tupperware. You bring it in, everyone's gonna see it. They're gonna be plotting on it. They're like, oh man, now I can put my dessert separate. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be a
Wow.
hero.
That's a good tip.
So that's my tip. That's usually what V does. Because again, my wife can cook, but there's so many people making so many different dishes, and generally I'm gonna cook and contribute for our family, like our slice of the larger family. But yeah, man, if you come in with that Tupperware, you will be
hero status.
you're a hero.
Hell yeah.
Because no one is thinking about that. No,
I didn't think about it. I'm just like, here's a plastic bag.
That's what I'm saying.
we're
Again, because you're trying to figure out. You're
like,
just like, oh man,
this is
I carry this thing.
cash.
And for my family, it's big, so they're bringing in like hotel pans of food and IKEA bags.
Yeah.
The big hefty blue ones, because like they got to carry all that stuff in and get it from where they were to where they're going. And on the way back home, that IKEA bag isn't holding nothing.
I heard. Yeah.
But in terms of like tips, man, I'm just trying to think, because like again, we have so many people at these gatherings. We kind of do it. It's almost like buffet style. Like there's so many pans of stuff. So what I always say is this: when you're making your plate, leave room for more, because you will want some more. So like, don't go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, get a few slices of ham, a little bit of turkey. Like, don't get some veggies in there up front.
Yeah, man.
While they're still going to be nice and hot and hold their texture. Get that going up front, and then circle back for stuff that's going to hold its texture, like a lasagna. Save that for later. I know you're going to be tempted to get it. But yeah, that would be my tip.
Heard. Mine is just simpler. I take 2 trips.
Okay.
First trip, kind of get all the veggies. I'm a nut for roasted veggies. I love anything roasted, so I will always go automatically for the first one. And then any kind of like sauce, that's the first trip. So the veggies plus the sauce first. Second plate, now I'll get the proteins and stuff, whatever it is, turkey, ham, etc. Stuffing. How I would eat it though, and it's very methodical. My wife would even attest to this. I would take turkey, stuffing, the cranberry jam and the stuff inside the can. It needs to be that one. Goes on top of that. A little sauce. Gets into my mouth. That's how I would eat it. Over and over. And then the veggies into the sauce, into the stuffing, into my mouth. I'm a methodical eater. So that's how I would eat everything. So I get like a bite of everything. I think it's just my brain trying to get as many textures and flavors as much as possible. But that is my pro tip on how to eat your Thanksgiving meal, if you want. But yeah, nothing too crazy. This is our food podcast. the foodie inspired one that Sean and I will be making consistently. But if you haven't already, we're gonna end it right here. Chef Salty Pork Podcast on YouTube. You can check it out on the stuff below. You can find Sean's little tag right here, Metrocardax, on Twitter.
Right. On
And
Twitter,
AskChefSalty at gmail.com. We'll give you all the good stuff on us. Let me blow it up on the main stage real quick right here. So patreon.com, Pork and Wine. We'll give you all the extra tidbits. Again, all the good stuff there. And on Chef Salty Pork on everywhere else where you stream, on Spotify, on Apple, etc. You'll find all the episodes there live a little later today. So on Tuesday, Sean and I do the podcast. On Thursdays, it'll be other podcasters and the food stuff eventually. But that's all we got. Sean, you got anything else?
I think that's it. I mean, what I would ask you is like, what are some of, well, not you, but the listener, what are some of your favorite holiday foods? What are some variations that like, work for, your family? Like, I mean, like my family don't really do a lot of like casserole dishes for Thanksgiving, but I know that that's like pretty popular, with some people. So let us know, send us an email, maybe we, you could inspire us to try some new things.
I'm trying to get like the email underneath my hand, but it's not really going somewhere. AskChefSalty.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
at gmail.com right here on the. It's a little hard trying to.
Yeah, you gotta point opposite to where you
point the
looking.
other way.
So it would be there, but no, it's actually right there.
Yeah, salty because we're salty motherfuckers. AskChefSalty at gmail.com. Other than that, guys, we are out.
All right, take care and peace out, internet.